Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the introverted reader. Excuse my haggard appearance right now. I was just on the phone with the bank having to do some adult boring things and it was a bit stressful, but today's video is going to be my TBR for the Introverted Reader Readathon, or my September TBR. I have an announcement video for the Readathon on my channel. I'll leave a link down below if you want to get all the info. But let's hydrate. Whew, take a breath. And let's just all... Whew. Yes, that was a very stressful 30 minutes of my life. But okay, so I have the books here that I want to read for this month. I do have some other books that I'm sort of in the middle of that I'm going to be reading. One of them I'm almost done with, The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. It's over there, I can't be annoyed to get it. I'm almost done with that, so I'm not including that, and some other books as well that I'm not really including. But anyway, these are the books strictly for the readathon that I'm going to be reading. So first and foremost, the first prompt is to read a book that has been unread for way too long, basically a TBR vet, and I'm so excited because finally I'm gonna read King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the next book within the Grishaverse. I'm so excited to read this. I finished Crooked Kingdom, spoiler alert for the wrap up coming at the weekend, but I finally finished Crooked Kingdom and I'm finally getting to this. I'm so excited. We are following a character in this one who I love and adore from the Grishaverse. I don't want to give too much away, but the character that we're following in here is such a favorite of mine and I'm so excited. I have no idea what to expect. I've never read it, obviously, so yeah, I'm so excited. Anyway, so finally reading this. I have the audiobook already. The next book that I want to read is for the prompt to read a book written by an author of color. None of these are in order, by the way. None of these are in order, but to read a book written by an author of color. So I'm going to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. Obviously, Su Lin Tan is an Asian author. This is a Chinese-inspired story. Basically about this girl and her mother, who is the moon goddess, who are in hiding from the Celestial Emperor because her mother stole the elixir of life from him. So he's been looking for them ever since. They've been in hiding, but then the daughter starts exhibiting magic of her own, meaning she has to go into hiding. And that's really all I know, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna try and get the audiobook for this as well. Like, can we talk about this cover for a second? It's absolutely stunning. Although the Fairy Loot edition of this book is a literal art piece, and I wish I had it in my life, but sadly I don't. But it's fine. I'm excited to read this. Is there anything going on, like, on that? Oh, there's a little design on the spine. Oh, that rhymed. But anyway, Daughter of the Moon Goddess for that prompt. Now the next one is ask a friend / family member to pick a book for you. I was gonna ask my sister, but I just didn't have time. So I asked some of my friends on Twitter, and a good friend of mine on Twitter suggested that I read Girl Beneath the Sea by Axie O. And this is one that I have been meaning to read for a good minute now. It's nice and short. I've never read anything by Axie O before. I believe she also wrote a book about a girl who falls in love with a K-pop star or something, or he wasn't a K-pop star when they met, but then she comes back like a year later and he's all famous and whatever. But that's not what this is. This is fantasy. About this village that is plagued by these horrible storms and tidal waves and everything, and they believe that their sea god is punishing them. So in order to appease them, they sacrifice a girl each year, basically by throwing her into the sea to become his bride. But then our main character's brother's fiance gets chosen. That was a bit of a mouthful. And our girl decides to offer up herself as tribute, basically, because she loves her brother and she doesn't want her brother to be heartbroken, so she sacrifices herself. That's a good sister. And then she gets, under the sea, to the spirit realm to find that the sea god is asleep. And it's like, do we actually want to wake him up, or like, and I'm super excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. And like the cover as well, absolutely gorgeous. Also, I mean, the Fairy Loot edition of this is beautiful as well, but like, I like the edition that I have. So that is those three. Now, the next few, for the prompt to read a book in a series that you need to finish. Now, King of Scars could count for this, but because I'm me, I have to have a book for every prompt because I always try to attempt to challenge myself. So for this, I'm going to read Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation Volume 2. Now, technically, this is all one book because that's the way the author wrote it, but obviously it being republished now in English, and the publisher is putting it out in like different volumes. So this is like volume 2 or like book 2 in the series. So I'm counting it, and I've been meaning to read this, and I keep forgetting. And obviously it's the original book of my favorite TV show of all time. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this. For the LGBTQ prompt, I have many options on my shelf. Obviously, I have a lot of gay books, but the book that I chose is actually a non-fiction, and I'm going for All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, a memoir manifesto about growing up Black and queer. And George M. Johnson is also non-binary, and yeah, just basically about, you know, just their life. From getting their teeth kicked out by bullies at age 5, to their loving family relationships, to their first sexual experience, these powerful stories wrestle with triumph and tragedy, weaving a rich tapestry of experiences both everyday and extraordinary. Covering topics such as gender identity, toxic masculinity, brotherhood, inequality, consent, and Black joy, George's remarkable story is a story for us all. And that's all I'll say. I think this will be a really important book for me to read. I feel like I might try and see if I can find the audiobook for it, but, you know, we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens. Okay, moving right along. For the prompt to read a middle grade, I've decided to go for The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This was actually sent to me by the lovely Amy over BookTube with Amy. So thank you very much she sent me this for my birthday. Which was very lovely of her. And basically, this is a story about this village who they don't. Now, when I say sacrifice a baby, I don't mean they kill him. I mean they basically take the baby out into the woods and leave it there for like the evil witch, because they think that the evil witch takes them and eats them. That is completely not true. The witch is actually good, and she finds the babies and looks after them and takes them to the other village to find good families to raise them, you know, to adopt them and raise them. And one little baby girl she picks up, she accidentally feeds her moonlight as opposed to starlight, and she gives the little girl magic powers. So she's like, well, I guess this one's mine. So she raises this little girl as her own child, and she calls her Luna, which is Spanish for moon. Bit on the nose, but we love that. She does name her Luna. Yeah, she does name her Luna. So I'm super excited to read this. It looks like it's going to be really wholesome, and it's the winner of the Newbery Medal 2017, so it must be good. And the very last book that I'm going to be reading is for the prompt to read a manga / graphic novel, or even a comic would do, to be honest. I was going to wait for my copy of the Sandman Volume 1 to come in, but he's taken his sweet time to get here. And I thought to myself, well, I may as well, I'll probably end up just rereading something, like I'll reread Heartstopper or I'll reread something. And then I spotted this. The Infernal Devices Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. It's actually Korean manhwa as opposed to Japanese manga, but either way, it's, you know, it's set out sort of in the same sort of format, and I cannot believe I nearly forgot about this. Like, I read Clockwork Angel and I forgot about this. You know, like literally graphic novel version of one of my favorite trilogies of all time. So yes, I'm going to be reading this, and if the Sandman finally gets here, then I'll probably read him as well. But yeah, let's show you all the books. This is going to be what we're going to attempt to read for September. Let me know what you're going to read if you're participating in the Readathon. Be sure to post your TBRs and obviously, you know, tag me in them, or let me know what you're going to read if you're participating. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. My socials are down below as always. along with my Amazon wish list. And yeah, subscribe if you're new, ring the bell because it really, really helps. Give it a thumbs up because it helps. Leave a comment if you want to. And yeah, I'll see you at the weekend for my wrap up. So, which will be very interesting, let me tell you. Anyway, I'll see you.